back to your members area. So welcome to your Pilates class today. This Pilates class is going to focus on your lower tummy, okay? So belly button down area. So we've got a pelvic floor involved. We've got a big muscle called your transverse abdominis, which runs all the way across the bottom of the tummy. Obviously, we will probably involve a little bit of the upper and the obliques as well, but we're not actually going to be doing any of the upper body crunching things. I know some of you tend to find that's a bit strenuous on the neck. So this class might be perfect for you because we are going to simply focus on the lower tummy. I'm going to give you lots of different levels, okay? Because what happens when we do the lower tummy work, some of you will find your back might start to kick in, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to give you levels. So level 1 would be an easier level. Level 3 would be slightly harder. So if you feel it in your back at any point, please lower down to one of the previous levels, okay? And as always, if you need to stop, then please just stop. Okay, so whenever you're ready, we're going to make our way down onto our backs. So I invite you to come and have a lay down. Palms of the hands are going to come by your sides. Soles of the feet flat on the floor. Heels close to the bottom, knees parallel. We're going to take a bridge first. This will help activate through the tummy, okay? So nothing strenuous. We're not going really high. We're simply getting some mobility through the back and activating the tummy so it knows that we're about to start using it, okay? So when you're ready for a bridge, we tuck our tailbone under. Lift the bottom off the floor, press your hips up towards the ceiling, keep the palms of the hands down, keep the shoulders down, try and keep those hips level. As you roll down, massage the back into the ground, roll through the spine, and the bottom touches the floor last. Let's do that again. So peel the bottom off the floor, keep the knees parallel, squeeze through the glutes, take the hips up high. As you roll down, visualize your back. Those knobbly bits in your back are called the vertebrae. We want to imprint and get every single one of those to make contact with the floor by drawing the belly in towards the spine. Scoop and hollow. We'll do that one more time, lifting the bottom up, pressing through the feet. This is a great exercise to get your back mobile. Try not to let the shoulders lift. And we roll down through the spine, drawing the belly in. We're going to leave the bottom on the floor. I invite you to make a diamond with your hands. Pop your hands over your belly button. We do a pelvic tilt. You're going to arch your back off the floor so the back is completely lifted, and then reverse it. Imprint your back down, so you push your back into the ground. Let's do that again. So you lift the back, so arching through, and then press your back into the floor completely flat. One more time here. So lifting up, we're changing the shape of the back by tilting our pelvis. Press the back down. And now we want to find neutral spine. So you find somewhere in the middle of those two postures. So you're not arched, you're not imprinted, you're somewhere in the middle. Taking the hands off, palms of the hands by your sides. We lift our right leg into tabletop. The knee is over the hip. We're going to extend the right leg away to hover and then bring it back into tabletop. So this is called a single leg extension. You extend the right leg away, don't let it touch the floor, and then come back into center. Now it's really important you keep the left knee bent because that's going to make it easier for you here, more comfortable. And you keep the shoulder blades on the ground. So if you can't go that low to the ground, maybe lift the leg a little bit higher if that's feeling too intense. Now it's really important to keep this belly tight. So maybe keeping your hands on your tummy might help you keep alignment there. And we're trying to keep that neutral spine. This is great to activate the lower tummy. So let's do a couple more here, really lengthening that leg away from you, drawing it back into that tabletop position. Let's go for one more here. Bringing that leg back to tabletop. Now see if we can straighten that leg now. If you can't, please keep it bent. I'm going to flex the foot, push my heel down towards the ground, and then point the toes as I sweep the leg back up. So pressing the heel down towards the floor as you flex the foot, and then pointing the toes as you sweep back up. So now I'm keeping the legs straight. If this feels too intense, go back to the first progression, was where we had our bent knee and we were extending away, okay? So I'm pushing that heel down, lengthening that leg, keeping my back stable. My back is not lifting off the floor as I lower that leg down. I'm using my out breath as I lower, so breathing out to lower, inhaling as we come back up. Let's go for one more here. Last one here, lowering it all the way down. Sweep that right leg up towards the ceiling. Let's leave the foot over the hip. Option is to bend your knee a little bit, okay? We're going to draw a few circles on the ceiling. So we're drawing a circle with the whole leg, not just the foot. And we're trying to keep our left leg stable at the same time. You will feel it through the leg as well. Your leg will start to become heavy, okay? That's normal. We obviously can't switch off those muscles as well. But by lifting that leg, you're going to be activating that big muscle area we're trying to focus on. Option, if your knee is bent, you would do exactly the same. It would look like this instead of having a straight leg, okay? Which is great, which is fine. We just really want to make sure we're not taking any pressure in that lower back. So drawing a little circle here. Let's go for 3 more, taking your time, keeping everything really tight around the tummy. And then we'll cross that right leg all the way over the left. So cross the right leg down, hands down by your sides. Pull your right knee in towards you. The left foot comes off the floor. And then tap the left toes onto the mats. Let's do that again. So you're bringing the right knee in towards the chest. Draw the belly in, squidge everything in, and then tap the left foot down. So our back of our head stays firmly on the ground, the shoulders stay down, crunching that right thigh towards the chest, and then tapping the left foot onto the ground, okay? Try not to stay with your left foot on the ground too long because we don't want to take a recovery there. We want to stay active into the lower tummy. And as you crunch that thigh in, really squeeze the belly button towards the back so you get a deeper range of movement, and we're really switching on those tummy muscles here. Let's go for 2 more. Squeeze it in as close as you can. One more time here, last one. And then we'll pop the feet down, take the right leg off, maybe rock those knees side to side if you've got any tension through the hips, the lower back. We want to make sure there's no tension there, nice and mobile, nice and supple through the lower body. And then we'll repeat that sequence on the left leg, okay? So when you're comfortable, reset yourself. Left leg comes into tabletop. Find that neutral spine, so somewhere in the middle of the curve and the flat. And then we extend the left leg to hover and come back to tabletop. So we're extending that leg away, but nothing's moving here. Everything's happening in the leg. If that feels too uncomfortable, if your back is arching, take the leg a little bit higher when you straighten it, or don't fully straighten it. Keep it slightly bent. Okay, so there's a couple of different modifications there so that you can take the level that feels right for you. Keep those shoulders down, scoop and hollow that belly, and lengthen that leg away as much as possible. So we're finding control through the rest of the body while we're firing up this big muscle group in the lower tummy, okay? So obviously if you have, for a lot of women out there, this muscle group is the one that after pregnancy gets a little bit weaker. If you've had a cesarean, they will cut through this tummy muscle. But I have had both, and it is possible to build the strength back. Okay, cesarean and natural I've had, and it is possible to get the strength back. So just stick with the first level options and gradually build on it, and the muscle will come back to full strength. Maybe we can take it into a straight leg lower now with the left leg. So I'm flexing the foot, pushing the heel all the way down, and then pointing through the toes as I lift back up. So flexing the foot, pushing the heel down, and sweeping all the way up. Now the reason it's so important to look after the lower tummy is the lower tummy is the area that is going to look after your lower back. Okay, so if you have aches or pains or niggles in your back, that might be because the muscles in the lower tummy are not strong enough at the moment to support and to look after your back. So it's very important to build that strength back, okay? And also your pelvic floor area, we want to strengthen that too, if you know what I'm saying. So let's push the heel down even further, lengthen that leg and sweeping it all the way up. Hold the left leg lifted. Starting to come into our tiny circles now. So the idea behind the circles is that everything else is staying stable. So we're keeping the whole body stable here. We're not circling the right leg or the upper body. Maybe we're taking our modification of where the left leg is staying bent, which is great. don't be afraid to modify something. You're better off modifying an exercise so that you feel it in the correct place rather than forcing yourself to do the biggest level and then you're putting pressure on your back. It just means your muscles in the right area have switched off, and we don't want that to happen, okay? Let's pop the left leg over the right when you're ready, palms down by your sides. We bring the left leg in towards the chest and then tap the right foot down onto the mat. So the head is fully relaxed here today, shoulders are staying down, and we're crunching that left leg in towards the chest, drawing the belly towards the spine, and then tapping the right foot to the floor, keeping our back supported the whole time. So like I said earlier, we don't want to have the massive arch or the massive imprint. Obviously you will imprint when the thigh comes in towards the chest, but when that foot goes down, try not to let the back arch completely. Keep a level of control with your lower tummy. So switch it on basically. Let's do one more time here. Last one. Big squeeze. And then pop those feet back down. And once again, maybe rock those knees side to side if they feel like they want some movement created in the lower body. Now, when you're ready, we're going to come to tabletop. So we pull both knees over the hips, feet in line with the knees. Maybe you want to have your hands on your belly to make sure the belly's not lifting up and down, or maybe you want to have the hands by your sides. Alternate taps. So tap one foot to the floor, come back to center, and then tap the other leg. So I'm alternating here. Now, the closer your foot taps towards your bottom, the easier it's going to be, okay? So if you want to tap your foot very close to the bum, great. If you want to start to extend that foot towards the end of the mat, great. Have an explore. Make sure we're looking after that lower back, okay? So you might go further towards the end of the mat and think, oh no, I've gone too far, that doesn't feel good. I'm going to decrease my range of movement the next time. Okay, so it's okay to explore. We move slow with control, and everything is staying stable. I'm not gripping hold of the mat for dear life. We don't want to press the hands down into the floor. The hands are simply down by our sides. No tension through the head or the shoulders. Okay, so we're finding that control through the lower body, using our out breath every time we lower, and moving with precision, with control, using that area that we are really trying to focus on today. Let's go for 4 more. Take your time. We've got 4. Try not to bring the knees too close to the chest yet. That's a different exercise. 3, 2. Then we've got 1 more time. We're going to keep our legs in tabletop. We're going to take a reverse crunch. Bring the knees now towards the chest. The bottom comes off the floor slightly, and we reset back to tabletop. So I bring the knees in, both knees in towards the chest. Try to get the bottom off the floor, and then reset back to tabletop. Can you see if I go slow and go controlled and squeeze everything in, as I lower my bottom back down onto the mat, I get the shakes. So my body starts to judder. You can probably hear that in my voice as I lower as well. Now that's just because the muscles are switching on. I'm moving controlled. I'm using my lower tummy to get myself down. Maybe turn the palms of the hands towards the ceiling, so you're not using the hands to press yourself up. And don't be alarmed if you feel like your bum is hardly moving. That's perfectly normal. But as long as you can feel everything engaging in the lower tummy, that's all that matters, okay? We're going to go for 2 more here, using the out breath as you bring those knees in. Last one here, last one. And then we'll keep those legs in tabletop. Try to keep the heels away from the bottom. Don't let them start to drop, okay? Take your arms a little bit wider. Just got to adjust mine because of the unit, but take your arms a little bit wider. We're going to take our rotational twist. So we drop both legs towards the left, but don't let go. Make sure you're staying switched on through the tummy. My legs don't come towards the floor. Come back through center. Let's take it the other way. So both legs go in the direction of the right. Keep in control. Both shoulder blades stay down. and then we come through center and keep that going. So I'll turn side on this way so you can see, and then I've got full range. So I'm going to take both legs towards one side, keeping my shoulder blades down, coming back through center, making sure the feet don't drop towards the floor, like towards the bottom. Keep them lifted. Squeeze the belly towards the spine. So this is where I was saying you're going to feel it in your obliques as well, in the waist muscle, but this is a lower tummy exercise. So keeping those heels away from the bum, make sure the knees don't come in too close towards the chest, and keeping the shoulder blades on the floor. Really draw that tummy tight. It's like we're tightening around a corset. So instead of having to wear the corset to keep everything sucked in, we're going to just teach our muscles to do that instead. So let's make this next one our last one. Take your time, only go as far as you feel comfortable. And then when you come back to center, let's pop our feet onto the floor, soles of the feet down, and open your knees wide. Okay, bring the hands back down by your sides, adjust the pelvis, make sure we're not arching too much through the lower back. And then from here, I just invite you to lift your heels off the floor. So my toes, the balls of the feet are down, still together, but the heels are lifted, and straight away that switches on the lower tummy, okay? We're going to lift this diamond shape up. So we're going to lift the diamond shape off the floor, and then I'm going to bring the feet back down to the ground, moving slow. So maybe pop your hands onto the tummy if that helps. We're going to lift those feet off the ground, keeping that diamond shape, and then tap the feet back down to the floor. So let's keep our head and shoulders down. Remember, don't let those shoulders creep up. Keep the legs wide in your diamond shape, and you should feel that really kicking in into the lower tummy, the pelvic floor area. Draw the belly towards the spine, so scoop and hollow. And control as you go down. Make sure we're not just collapsing and switching off the lower back. Only lift those legs as high as you feel comfortable. If this feels too intense, maybe you want to do one leg at a time and alternate, which is great. Okay, because by this point, your lower tummy might be hitting fatigue, which therefore means as it's tiring, you might be kicking into the lower back instead, which we don't want to happen. So my advice would be to do one leg at a time and to alternate, okay? Let's just continue doing really well. I know it's quite tough for the lower tummy, but we want to hold on as much as possible. Let's fit in our last one here. So one more time. And then gradually popping those feet back down onto the ground. Bring those knees in together. Let's hug our knees in towards our chest. Give our back time to recover. So rock into this ball shape, massaging the lower back on the ground, giving your back time to recover. Doing really well. Okay, we're nearly done, I promise. From here, we're going to lengthen both legs up now. So I'm going to lengthen both feet up. My feet are coming over my hips, hands back down by the sides. Option, bend the knees if this gets too uncomfortable. I'm going to take a little crisscross scissor. So I'm crossing my feet over, under, over, under. Try to keep the feet, like I say, over the hips. If you start to drop your feet too low down towards the floor, you might start to feel too much pressure in your lower back. So my advice would be to bend the knee slightly and bring it here, if that feels better for you. Working on keeping that stability through the spine, so the back is staying in neutral spine, arms are relaxed, there's no tension through the head and shoulders, and we're active through that tummy. Remembering to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. So I'm continuing to scissor here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, then I'm going to glue the feet together. Imagine you've got a big mermaid tail. We're going back to those circles. I'm drawing the circles on the ceiling, but I'm imagining I've just got one leg basically glued together. I'm not separating the feet, and I'm drawing a circle. This time I'm going to go a little bit bigger. As I bring the feet towards me, my bottom comes off the floor ever so slightly, and then as I take the feet away, they go a little lower than my hips. So my circle's getting bigger. I'm starting to add that reverse crunch in ever so slightly. And then that's really going to hit into my lower tummy. Shall we go the other way? So the other way around the circle. Bringing those legs in towards you. Slightly taking those legs away, keeping the head and shoulders down. Drawing that belly in, using the breath. You can bend your knees at any point if you need to, okay? Please remember that. Bend your knees at any point that you need to. Scoop it in, scoop it in. We're going to do 2 more. Last one here. Beautiful job. Let's bend our knees, pop our feet down. You can use your hands, you can roll onto your side, you can come up to seated, however works for you, taking your time. And then we'll bring our soles of our feet together once again, knees open wide. We reach our hands forwards here. So lengthening the spine, shoulders over hips, knees drop out to the side. We're going to reach forwards as far as you can, keep squeezing the belly in. And then as you reach the arms up, you then curve back. Take a C curve, keep the feet on the floor. So I lift to a straight spine. I'm going to reach forwards towards the end of the mat. And then I lift the arms up, find that level back, and then curve through, look down at my belly. Okay, so I'm reaching forwards. Now, the reason we're keeping the legs in this diamond shape is it will activate into your lower tummy. Please make sure you're careful, tucking that tailbone under as we curve back. Don't simply hinge from the hips. As you reach forwards, knees are pressing out. I'm still active through the tummy. Arms are always relaxed. There's always space between the shoulders and the ears. And the elbows are always slightly bent. Okay, sweeping forwards. And then tucking under as I curve back. Let's go for last one here. Last one. Sweeping it all the way back. As you come up, let's bring those knees together. Stay in a slight V-sit here. So my spine is long, chest is lifted. Toes are on the floor, heels are lifted. And then I'm going to lift the feet off the ground and find a V-sit balance. So gluing the legs together, gluing the feet together, soften the shoulders, relax the elbows, scoop and hollow the belly, but open the chest. And we simply hold it here, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. We'll stay here for 6, 5, keep smiling, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself down. Great. Let's come into a straddle now. So taking the legs wide into our V-sit straddle position. Hands close to the bottom. Press yourself forward so the knees are turning up. Lengthening through the spine. Hold it here for a moment. Let's allow those inner thighs to adjust. If that's too intense, bring the legs closer together. They don't have to be that wide, okay? And again, from here, I'm going to reach those arms forwards. Make sure there's space between the shoulders and the ears. We're going to reach forwards, tapping as far forwards as you can. Same thing applies, okay? And then we tuck under, drop the chin to the chest, curve the back. I lift up to straight spine, sweeping forwards, reaching forwards. Find that straight back, shoulders over hips, and then tuck under. Draw the belly in, look at your belly, and tilt back. Okay, so I'm rolling through my pelvis here, keeping the pelvis open as I reach forwards, but then I'm tucking through that pelvis as I squeeze in and roll back. The thighs will engage slightly as well. Maybe you want to bring the legs closer together. Maybe this is a little too intense and you're thinking, I don't want to do this one, Jade. And that's okay if this feels a little too much. If it's too challenging, please feel free to miss it out. I don't want you to do anything that doesn't feel quite right. But remember, you can come back to this lower abs exercise whenever you want to, if this is an area that you feel you would like to work on, okay? So squeezing under. Let's do this one more time. Last one here. Reaching forwards. And then tucking under, going back. Let's come up to neutral spine. Open those arms wide. We'll take a side bend, one arm up and over. Reach the other arm towards the opposite leg. eye line up towards the ceiling, create space through that rib cage. Beautiful job. Let's come back through center, take the arms wide and then side bend the other way, up and over, reaching down that leg. Eye line up to the ceiling, open up through your side body. A gorgeous stretch here as we close off our class. Sweeping yourself all the way up, hands down, bend those knees, maybe help them out if they're a little tight. Take the legs forwards in front of you. Find that lovely lifted posture up and out of the hips. Take a deep breath in, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, let's fold over. Soften the elbows, soften the shoulders. Let the chin drop down. Now, as you peel up, we're going to bend the knees, bring the heels in towards your bottom, and give yourself a well-deserved hug. Chin on the chest, curve your back, maybe forehead on the knees. Take a big breath in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. One more time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then slowly unravel yourselves. Bring yourself to a cross-legged position. Lengthen the spine. And you are done. I really hope you enjoyed that lower abs workout there today. Any questions, any feedback, you know you can contact me. That is what I am here for. Either on email, on the members chat area, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Let me know how you're getting on, and if you need anything, I'm always here.